before you go, girl. Believe me, you hate all night.
We gotta turn it off. Hey guys, it is Bob, and I guess I'm doing my video for the All About Bob week, which is kind of awkward, which is why I have two of my friends, Drew and Jessica.
I'm Jessica. That's Drew.
Here, and they're gonna actually, I guess, tell a story about me, because it would be kind of boring and narcissistic if I told a story about myself.
How about if you? I really feel like we should have acted this whole thing out.
What do you mean?
Like we should have put on a play.
That's a terrible idea.
It's like Mitch Hedberg.
There's not
what if instead of asking for put that word in a sentence, you said, "Can you please put that word in a play?" Oh, I gotta talk loudly. Okay, I hope you can hear me now. Apparently, I have to talk loudly. So, I met Bob 4.5 years ago. Oh, I already told you that. There you go.
Oh god. Okay.
This happens a lot with Bob.
More than you know.
I say a lot of stuff that I don't think is funny, and then they start laughing, so then I start laughing. I don't even know why they were laughing at me. Earlier I asked if Bob had peanuts, and he thought it was the funniest thing in the whole world. This is me and Bob, alright? This is the side of Bob that I know. He laughs at me. So anyways, Boy Scout camp, I worked with Bob my first year. This was 2004, and we're all there at the banquet, like 60 of us, and guess who's not there? Bob and this kid that we call Jawa. And some hairy guy. Anyways. He's a short, hairy man. And, they're not there. And we're like, where's Bob? Where's Jawa? Where's Bob? Where's Jawa? And they don't show up. We go on, we have the banquet, we skip over them because they're not there. About 15 minutes before the banquet's over, they show up, and they look quite tired. I woke them up before the banquet, by the way. You know, I watched Winter's video, and those pictures that she has, the one of Bob coming out of the shower, I actually took that morning. It was the last day of camp, and I entitled it Naked Bob. And so I woke them up. I saw Bob coming out of the shower, and then they were not at the banquet. They show up. They have gotten Bob's car. What was the name of it? She had a name. Huh?
Halle.
Halle. Halle?
Halle. It's wine.
Okay, Halle is Hawaiian, and that was the name of his white
Isuzu Trooper.
Isuzu Trooper. Bob, in all his infinite wisdom, decided to listen to short hairy man Jawa, who everybody knows you never listen to Jawa. Said, you can drive your Isuzu Trooper up Max Creek Trail. This is a hiking trail that follows a creek bed and then runs along a tiny cliff ledge over the creek about 12 feet for another 200 yards or something. So, turns out they decided to go for a, I don't know, end of the summer adventure and drive down Max Creek Trail from one side of the reservation to the other. That's like 45 minutes drive away.
And you're doing 5 miles an hour the whole way.
And the end of the car, they got almost to the end of the trail.
The end of the car?
They got almost to the end of the trail, and the end of the Isuzu Trooper, it's not a car, slides off of the cliff and is hanging above this 12-foot cliff into the creek. And Bob has to climb out the passenger door because his door, when he opens it up, is dangling precariously over the creek bed. And Jawa bailed out the other windows, so Bob is like trying to climb out and hoping that the whole trooper doesn't crash down, smashing him to pieces. Then they had to hike the rest of the trail, hike in, it's a Sunday by the way, into this church. Alright, what is it? It's the, something, Max Creek Baptist Church of God. Has a sign that says Church of God. And they have to hike in there on a Sunday, dirty from hiking, and ask for help because they've gotten their truck stuck on the trail. They get a ride all the way back to camp in the middle of our banquet, and then have to ask somebody to come try and get them out. We fail miserably. Have to go back and tell the camp ranger that he's stuck in the creek. And then they have to do slave labor for free for a couple days. So yeah, we got it out eventually, and it ran perfectly fine. He's a lucky man.
It was the third day that we went back and got that vehicle.
It sat there for 3 days. We tied it with some ropes. I have pictures somewhere, and I will try and get them online at some point. It's pretty good.
They are pretty hilarious.
Well, Bob's the guy that I can call and say, Bob, you want to go to a wedding? And he'll say, when? And I say, oh, I'm leaving Roanoke now. I can swing by and pick you up in 20 minutes. Where's it at? Knoxville. It starts in 3 hours. Well, it's a 4-hour drive to Knoxville, so I actually made it 5 minutes late. And we snuck in, except it was in the fall, and it was outside, and there were crunchy leaves that we were stepping on. It was okay.
They heard us coming. They definitely heard us coming.
True story, true story. This is probably really boring for you guys.
That's so edited out.
A lot
It's
of
probably
it's
gonna be
gonna
boring
have
as
to be
hell.
edited
Don't
out.
watch this shit.
Okay, so a little taste of Bob. I went to Bob's refrigerator to get a taste of what Bob has in his refrigerator. No, actually, he didn't have any markers around, so that's one thing. Bob has no colored markers, crayons, colored pencils, right? He has paint, but he does not have fun coloring items. So I dug through his refrigerator, and I'm going to go get what I found. Okay, guys. So, can you see this? It says, Happy New Year. Can you see? So
Okay.
Happy's pretty faded. Happy's really faded. Oh.
Lift it up.
I
Okay.
keep forgetting I'm supposed to talk loudly. Happy is really faded, but it's written in mustard. And new is written in avocado, and year is written in grape jelly. You can't even see it.
Here.
Okay.
Year. See, there's
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Yay! It's almost New Year's. Bob had to hold it because I can't line it up in front of the camera.
That's disgusting.
It's great. I wrote year in cursive with peanut butter and jelly. With jelly. I have
Make
to
an
go.
outline.
You
Let's
can
do it.
press.
Alright, so we're going to open mic night. It's 9:15, and you'll catch Bob next week.
Next week, yes. And hopefully soon I'm actually going to do some videos for my own personal channel. I've been lazy, school, yada yada.
Why are fire trucks red? No. Because 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 4 is 8, 8 and 4 is 12, 12 inches in a ruler. Queen Mary was a ruler. Queen Mary was also a ship. Ships sail in the sea. Fish swim in the sea. Fish have fins. Fins fought the Russians. Russians are red, and fire trucks are always Russian, and that's why fire trucks are red. What do you call a fish with no eyes?
You don't sound like...
Rinderstella lived in a faraway land with her ugly mother and her 2 sad blisters. One day, Rinderstella found out a Bancy Fall that Prince and Hints was having with his friends for his Bancy Fall. But Rinderstella, she didn't have a Bancy Fresh for the Bancy Fall. So, you know what she did? She got down and tried. So anyways, she didn't have a Bancy Fresh for the Bancy Fall, so she said, I wish for I had my Gary Mudfutter. And poof! Her Gary Mudfutter appeared with her magic wand. And she said, Rinderstella, what would you like? I heard you were sad. And Rinderstella said, I wish I had a Bancy Fresh for the Bancy Fall so I could dance with the Prince of Mints. And Gary Mudfutter said, and your wish shall be confirmed. But I warn you of this. If you're not back by the mid-clock struck night, I'll turn you into a tumpkin. And poof, with a wave of her magic wand, she was gone. Magic wand, shoot. Okay, so Rinderstella, she went to the Bancy Fall, and she ran all night long with the Prince of Hints. And I was dying over here. But then, the mid-clock struck night, and Rinderstella, she ran out of there, and she stanced down the rares. At the bottom of the rares, she slapped her dripper. Well, the Prince of Hints, he chased after Rinderstella, and she was gone. But at the bottom of the rares, he found the dripper. He searched the countryside, war and fight, searching for Rinderstella. He tried the dripper on many people, but it didn't it. He come upon Rinderstella's house. He tried the dripper on the ugly mother. It didn't it. He tried the dripper on the sad blisters. It didn't it. And it didn't it. But then, he tried the dripper on Rinderstella, and it fit. It was just a slight rise. And Rinderstella and the Prince of Mints, they lived happily ever after.